Yo, what up, Mr. Bean? How we doing? All right, I'm gonna get my gloves on here as I hide behind the computer components. Doing good, love to hear that. Happy Monday, everybody. Unless you're very far east, then maybe it's Tuesday by now. Matches, what's up, dude? Yeah, this is gonna be a great looking build, man. It's all white, very minimal amount of RGB. There's gonna be just a handful amounts, some from some fans, and the GPU has a little bit, but besides that, it's almost all just pure white, no RGB, just clean. It's gonna be great. You were on one of my other streams. I don't remember, but I'm glad you're here. I see you have some sort of badge. I don't know what that is. What is that badge? Oh, you got a top fan badge or something? That's awesome. Plan to build a PC for yourself soon? Hey, let's go. I know more RGB equals more FPS, but this is what the guy wanted. He said he wanted minimal RGB. So we didn't like, you know, go out of our way to like make sure there was zero RGB, but we definitely made sure that there was just a taste, just a touch of RGB. What up, Zach? It's going well, man. How are you? So today's build, I gotta like stand over here because you guys can't see me. Today's build's pretty sweet. We've got our 9800X 3D, we've got the RTX 5070, 48 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage. Got a nice big 360mm AIO from Thermalright, X870 motherboard from Asus, and then we've got the Leanly Edge Gold 850 watt power supply, and then this is all going inside of the Thermaltake View 270, which is the same case that we just built in. You guys, if you guys saw the last stream, it's the same case, just in white instead of black. It's gonna be great. Dude, I know, I haven't even turned on my gaming PC in like a month. I've just got too much going on, and I've been spending my off hours golfing instead of gaming, so. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, Mr. Bean. What up, Mark? It's good to see you, dude. Yeah, I literally haven't played Warzone. I haven't played anything in many weeks. I want to get back on and play. I just like, you know, my wife prefers me to come home when I get done building, so it's weird. It's like she wants me there. Heinrich, what's up? It's good to see you. Virginia Thompson, what's up? Good to see you. Okay, so yeah, that's the build. 9800X 3D 5070, all white, almost no RGB. It's gonna be a great build today, you guys. I'm excited for this one. And it honestly should be a pretty quick build. With the pre-installed fans in the Thermaltake case, and then the Thermalright CPU coolers typically come with pre-installed fans. This thing should go together pretty well. And there's almost no RGB, so that definitely shortens up the time a little bit too. Also, I forgot my normal pocket knife, so I have to use this massive one that I have at the office. But at least this one's sharp. Your fiance wants to spend time with me instead of letting me game all day. I know, it's crazy, right? It's so weird. You missed this face? I missed your face. I missed your voice too. We don't ever play together anymore. I mean, I don't play at all anymore right now, but I miss it. The good old days. Brandon Chisholm, H-00 with the subscriptions on the tubes. Appreciate that. Whew. Get all that stuff out of there. What is women thinking? I know, right? What the heck? Don't you know I could be fighting in the war zone right now? All right, there we go. Got our beautiful, beautiful motherboard. It does have some plastic on it, doesn't it? Oh yeah, got it. Got it, fingernail. through the glove. Fingernail through the glove. That's pretty impressive if I do say so myself. So this is actually a new motherboard model from Asus. It looks, if I had to guess based on the design of it, I'd have to say it's like it seems like it's like a one step up from the Asus Prime model maybe. So it's still got pretty decent features like 2.5 gig in on the internet. It's got quite a few USB ports, some USB-C ports. Got heat sinks on all the M.2s. Quick release on the main PCIe slot. But just based on the heat sinks and stuff, I would say it's likely slightly above the Prime model, but honestly, it looks a lot better. Looks really good. Happy spouse, happy house. Very true. Happy wife, happy life. No complaints here. So we're all good. She's going out of town in like a couple weeks, so I'll probably have some more time to game when she takes off. But for now, not much time to game. Your wife plays COD with you? That's pretty cool. My wife has no interest in playing video games, really. She also has no interest in playing golf, which is probably for the best, budget-wise. Probably for the best that only one of us likes to golf. All right, so 9800X3D installed. Let's get our SSD in here. Why is my nose so itchy? Shona plays Disney Dreamlight Valley. Yeah, my wife plays, is it Roller Coaster Tycoon, which is like an ancient game. That's the only game that she's played in memory, besides like silly little mobile games on her phone. All right, 2 terabyte SSD. It's a Gen 4. Going in. How's everybody doing on this fine Monday? You guys survived the first day of the week. Can only go up from here, right? Come on, there we go. All right. Got our heatsink ready to go back on. There we go. What up, Husk? How we doing? There we go. 2 terabytes. Done. Dusted. All right, let's get our RAM in here. We got a 48 gigabyte kit of Team Group T Create. This is like really nice, low profile, honestly really sleek looking RAM. I really like what they did with this model series for the T Creates. Vacationing in Italy is amazing, mostly because of alcohol is cheap there. I have a buddy that lives in Italy now, and yeah, he loves it, so. Doesn't sound like there's anything to complain about that. Surviving would be the word for it. Heat warnings for over 2 weeks. Oh, dude, it's been over 100 degrees here for weeks. I went golfing in the 100-degree heat on yesterday. But I guess Canadians probably aren't as used to that heat. And also, we don't have any humidity here in Idaho. It's just nice and dry. All right, let's get the standoffs for our CPU cooler out. Total cost of this build. It's a great question. I should probably look at that because I feel like it gets asked every single time I build a PC. So I should know. This one was $2,500. Yeah, I don't want to be in Florida in the summer, that's for sure. You will not catch me in Florida in the summer. This box got just a little bit beat up in the trip. How do I open this thing? Oh, down, all the way down here. There we go. GPU is an RTX 5070. All right. Average temp here has been about 117. Jeez, it's pretty hot. Okay, got all of our brackets and stuff. That should be all we need. Yeah, it's a really good build for the price, to be honest. 5070, 9800X 3D, lots of storage, lots of RAM. I think he chose pretty wisely. I mean, obviously I spec the parts, but he asked for, you know, the RAM and how much storage he wanted and stuff. Julian, we are building a gaming PC. It's got a 9800X 3D and a 5070 in it. This guy plays, I think he said he plays competitive Fortnite, if I remember right. What up, Richard? Yeah, those are some crazy temps, Zach. Did you buy anything for the AliExpress? No, I didn't buy anything from AliExpress. Not for this. The only thing I would buy on AliExpress would be like certain things that aren't available in the US market, like the Ryzen 5 7500F. Like the only way to get it is on AliExpress, but everything else is just, it's too slow. Got an MSI pre-built. Nice. Hopefully it was well built and they didn't use any cheap components on you. That's the problem with a lot of those pre-built companies, is on like motherboards and CPU coolers and power supplies, they really cheap out when they know they can get away with it. All right, there is all that stuff. And here is our case. The Thermaltake View 270 Plus. Whew. They do have some really cheap CPUs, and if you're buying it, you know, if you're building it for yourself, probably worth the wait. But me making somebody wait like 4 weeks plus to get their PC from business side, it's just not worth it. Okay, get that tape off there. Yeah, it's a decent combo. 7500F and a 3070. Yeah, it definitely depends on the price you're able to get the 3070 for, and whether it's worth getting one that old or getting something newer. All right, there we go. we go. Okay. Those all look pretty well lined up. Tips for continuing to make them for other people? I mean, it's all about networking. Like if you're trying to start a business, I mean, you could market it, but you know, it's gonna be a lot of money up front. So I've done all my stuff through networking and referrals. So get your friends to refer you to more people, you know. 4, 5, 6, nope. 7, 8, and 9. All right. There's all the bolts that we need. Throw the rest of these back in here. Come on. Shouldn't be this hard to pick up all these bolts. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, let's bolt this motherboard in. Oh, you got it? Okay, good, he did order it. Yeah, I was on the phone with him on Sunday. This definitely sounds like his cooler, or his pump is going out after we did a little troubleshooting. Would I promote you? No, I'm not gonna promote you. I'm gonna promote somebody else's business, especially if it's a competing one. You're over summer. I believe that. Slide my index? What are you talking about? Planning to get the H9 Flow. That's a great case. To use the right and bottom. So if you're using the H9 Flow, these fans and these bottom fans here would be reverse, and then the rear and top would be standard. Yeah, I figured, but just so everyone else knows, that's a no. Richard with 28 months subscription on Kick, that's crazy. Fall's your favorite time of year, not too hot, not too cold, sweater weather. Oh, I love the heat, man. Get a good sweat on. Lots of sun. Like 115 is a bit hot, but like 100 degrees, I'm cool with that. All right, there we go. Swap you guys over here. Swap you guys over. And we'll get Susan out here to continue the build. Do you think the Lean Cool 217 is better than the 011D? 217 versus the 011D. I mean, they're just different. The 011 Dynamic is just like a much bigger case. I think it just kind of depends on what sort of size and style you want. I don't think you could really call one better than the other. $1,000 budget. I mean, honestly, if you're going for like a pretty reasonably priced PC build, just get a case like this that already has pre-installed fans. And then if you use an AIO, like you don't need to add any extra fans. You can just go with what is already in there. That would be my suggestion to keep your budget, you know, in line. All right, HD audio. Let's get that in here. Boom. Let's go USB 3 right there. USB-C right next to it. And our front panel. And just doing that, like where you're not buying extra fans, it's just gonna save you money to, you know, your core components. You can have a little bit more money to spend on core components rather than things like fans, you know? Okay, so we got RGB, got a couple on top and one on the bottom. I think we're gonna use the ones on top here. Just due to cable length. This should be the only RGB port we use on this motherboard because nothing else has RGB. Run this guy into the CPU fan header. This guy over here. There we go. First PC was in the green 270 thermal take. Nostalgia's hitting hard. Yeah, I love that. You have the old 11D. Oh, the Lambo edition. That's cool. I mean, the 011 Dynamic has great cooling. I mean, if you have enough fans in it, like if you have all the fan locations filled, like you're not going to get any better performance from cooling than you already have. You hit the Dragong. Did you make the rotating platform yourself? No, I bought the bottom part is just like a Lazy Susan rotating thing with like ball bearings, and then this top piece I bought separately and painted it black. So kind of built it myself, kind of didn't. This black thing I just got from Home Depot and painted it. Okay, let's see, where is that? There it is. Okay. Kind of want to just keep all of our connectors up top if we can. Actually, this one's nice and long. Let's go to the bottom here. You won't see this little black one if we hide it down at the bottom. Okay. And I think we're going to undo some of this so that we can get us some cleaner cable management later. So we'll be able to run all this stuff down here together. What is going on here? How do these get wrapped around each other? Okay, there we go. I'll keep the, we'll pull all these apart right now. All right. Get some cable ties out here. Oh, you're good, dude. Who are we saying congrats to, Mark? Okay. Stuff's all kind of wrangled now. Let's clean that up as we go, but for now it's at least in one channel. Put one more of these down here to use later. That. Okay, I think we're good for that stuff. All right, let's get some power cables out here. $7500F or the 14400F. Personally, I would go with the 7500F just because you have a better upgrade path over time. Like as far as performance, they're going to be pretty similar. But I think over time, if you want to upgrade down the road, you'll be better off with the 7500F because you could upgrade all the way up to like a 9800X 3D right now with the same socket. All right, let's get our giant bundle of cables out there. Yeah, the 1700 socket is already not in use anymore by Intel, so the 14th gen is the furthest you can go on that one. No. Nope. Should be one more CPU cable in there. There we go. All right, we don't need the rest of this. So we don't need any SATA power in this build. GPU power, motherboard power, CPU power. That's all we need. Did I miss the USB thing in here somewhere? Isn't there supposed to be a USB dock in this thing? Or is that like extra? You have to pay for. Huh. Didn't come with it, I guess. That's weird. I thought it came with the USB dock. Maybe some models don't. Nvidia GPU prank brick GPU? I don't think I've seen that. What up, Ghost? How we doing? How do I manage the cable? Lots of practice and planning. And mostly just by doing bits of it as you go, rather than waiting till the end to do it all. Use some of these nice white zip ties they gave us. These are pretty stiff cables. I'm not gonna lie. Like getting them to make this little bend, that's tough. What up, Mr. Darkness? How we doing? Okay. So we gotta get those kind of tucked back in here. There we go. That. That. Throw one more at the bottom there. Yeah, if I remember, I'll take a look. I believe if they're just using it for gaming, the guy that's buying it is a like a competitive Fortnite player. So that's what he plans to use it for. All right, so there we go. Got those in there. Can clip out these zip ties real quick. All right, there's our CPU power. Let's get our motherboard power in here. Yeah, I mean, the 9800X3D with pretty much any GPU will work really well. So I don't think he's gonna have any complaints with that. But based on the budget, we ended up with the 5070 instead of like a, 5070 Ti or something else, It was gonna be a pretty significant price jump to go to a 5070 Ti, because the white ones right now are like $1,100 or $1,200 versus like the black one that I have in stock. I think I paid 800 something for. So yeah, he decided it wasn't worth it to jump to the 5070 Ti to keep the white aesthetic going. Okay. I think it's time to do some wrangling here. By wrangling, I mean cable management. Come on. Come on. Okay. Hoping to run these guys all the way back up to the top, but it doesn't look like they're gonna reach. At least not all of them. Go. A couple of zip ties, put that in a nice tight bundle. Just like that. I'm gonna run these guys up to here. I think we'll throw one more cable tie right here to hold all that together. Just like that. Wrap that over the top for now because we'll need to add more to it later. Still need this guy kind of accessible. And there we go. It's looking much more managed now. All right, let's get our power supply in here. Do I do double boxing? Yes, I do. Most of the time I would go with a 9600X and 5070 Ti. I mean, a lot of games are very CPU intensive, so I think it makes sense to go with a good CPU. A lot of games these days are very CPU intensive. Very CPU bound. Okay, got that in there. Let's get our power supply bolts out. Is there an exhaust that vents out the window? So not out the window. The case comes with one exhaust fan here, and then the AIO will be exhaust fan. So we'll have the two intakes here, and then we'll have 4 exhausts. You could, if you wanted to, add more fans here, but the GPU is going to kind of inherently pull air from here into the case. So that's not really a problem. The one downside to using this GPU or power supply in this case is this is the only orientation you can really mount it. You can't really, I mean, you probably could mount it upside down, but I think you would put some pressure on all these cables. So it's going to be drawing air in from the case rather than from underneath. We can see if we can mount it upside down. It's probably going to look pretty funky. This is more of an experiment than anything. Huh? That actually works. Let's do it. There's really no pressure on that, so we're good. So this is the ideal configuration then for a standard case like this, because you want the power supply to be pulling in fresh air through that fan and then out here, rather than pulling it from inside the case. Oh, look at that catch. So happy with that. The double boxing, it just depends on the size of the case box. I've got like 3 different sizes of boxes that I use. I just try and give myself an extra, you know, 1/2 inch to 1 inch of space to add in packing material. I put it in backwards. Hey, when I put in zip ties backwards, man. Okay. Here we go. Got our CPU power cables nice and routed. Got all of our power cables in here. Let's get our CPU cooler installed. How about that? There we go. Get that back through that slot there. Okay. Cool, CPU cooler time. Yeah, no problem. Amazing PC creator, thank you. What up, Soldier? Got that PSU coming in black, nice. Dude, that's gonna look good. I love the King 95 Pro. Since it's a 9800 X3, does the brand of the CPU matter? Oh, CPU cooler matter? Not necessarily, as long as you get a good cooler. As long as you get a good cooler, the brand doesn't necessarily matter, but I mean, the brand does kind of define if it's going to be a good cooler. The Arctic liquid freezer is it's a great cooler, so no concerns there. Looks amazing. Thanks, Ghost. Yeah, this thing's coming together nice. Don't know much about PCs, but the debug lights are never a good sign, right? No, it always, I mean, the debug lights should always come on while it's booting, but if it's not booting, the debug lights should help guide you in what's wrong. So it's always going to cycle through the debug lights when you're first turning on a computer. If the debug lights stay on and it doesn't boot, then yeah, you know there's a problem. Bring this down before I put this in. Let's get all these bolts out beforehand, because that's always a good idea. There we go. All right. So we want this mounted this way. Feed a couple of these fan cables through. Just like that. Here we go. Had it kind of twisted up on itself there. Okay. There's that. Pull these guys through. Does that one fall back? There we go. It's all nice. Just know the one Jinx never start the PC for the first time with the glass on. Oh. I usually don't start it with the glass on, but I'll put all the other panels and everything else on before I start it. Okay, it's gonna hold itself up now. Come on. Get all my corners on. Okay. Yeah, there's not really any room to shift it around, so that's where it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure I have a video on my YouTube channel, Ghost, on how to clean your PC. Trying to remember if I have a dedicated video for that or if it's like embedded in other videos, but I definitely have a video on that. Am I gonna play Doom? No. I don't hardly game at all right now, so it's unlikely I'm gonna try out a new game. Just don't have time. If I do boot up my gaming PC, I'm gonna go play Warzone with Rytech. I mostly like the strategic first-person shooter games. Yeah, let me know if you find it, Ghost. All right, there we go. The radiator, at least on our CPU cooler, is installed. Okay, let's get all of our fans plugged in down here. I'm gonna say this every time, even though you guys have heard it a million times. I don't like this 3-to-1 little thing that they put in here. I wish it was just a 3-to-1 cable, but whatever. Come on. There we go. And yes, the way I do cable management, you do kind of have to undo and redo stuff a decent bit, but it's so much easier than waiting till the end and trying to do it all at once. Okay, so that's pretty nice on the cable management so far. Okay, let's cut that zip tie. And we'll work on this side. Right here, let's put our thermal paste on. That's gonna go like that. Should say thermal grease, because we're using thermal grease, not thermal paint, or thermal paste. But this stuff lasts forever. One of the guys that I know in the PC building space, and the IT space in general, he's been using this stuff for like years and years. And he said he has PCs that have been using that, like one application of this thermal grease for 5+ years, and it still works. So we have switched to using this whenever we can. You're terribly late, Chris. Yeah, there is always next time, that's for sure. This is a good mix. Don't want all that liquid to settle on top. And apply. Like an artist, the Bob Ross of thermal application. No mistakes, just happy accidents, right? That's what he says. Okay, spatula's nice and clean. Make sure there's not a bunch of paste on the threads of the can. Do you take orders? Yes. redneckengineer.com. I believe you can find the link in my page, and that'll take you to my website. You can either look at the pre-built stuff that we have on the website, or I mean, a lot of our builds are, you know, custom made to order. So you just fill out the custom build form, send it off, and I will provide you with a quote based on what you put into that build form. we go. Okay, got that. Oh, looks like there is RGB on the block. Interesting. Okay, so we've got, coming off of here, we've got an RGB cable, and we've got our pump fan cable. What up, Otis? How we doing? Sorry if I missed your comment earlier. CPU installation is simple as putting it in and closing it. It's not that hard. Nope. Just make sure you have it in the right orientation and don't force it in. Just let it fall into place and you'll be fine. All right. Run my AIO pump header back out. There. AIO pump is the bottom of those two. See if my fingers are thin enough to reach up there. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. And this RGB header, I know we had an RGB end. Oh, it's so perfectly accessible, you guys. That is incredible. It's like I planned it this way. Huh? Just can't put enough force to insert it. There we go. Okay. Okay. So we got that. Now we just gotta tighten that up in our cable ties. Okay, make sure it looks good on the front. Want it over on the left side of our RAM slot. Good. Loosen this guy up now. Put it in there. Okay. Loosen this guy up, put it in here. Okay. Loosen this guy up. Put it in there. Come on. Go in there. Okay. Just like that. Boom, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, all we got left is our GPU and GPU power cable. This guy, we're gonna snake through over here. Out this. Just like that. Looks like this comes, I didn't use the motherboard combs because they weren't really necessary. But we might use a couple of these combs. that guy underneath. Stuff those guys in there. Let me stick this guy on. Oh. Little slot that's supposed to go into. Come on. Shouldn't be this difficult. I think they could have designed these clamps a little bit better. Gosh. Oh my gosh, there really is a single way to put this clamp on. That's crazy. The top half of this clamshell can only go in one way. That is wild behavior. My goodness, okay. Got a little extra force here. Squeeze that together. That's better. Yep, we're only putting one of these guys in. Spread them out like that. And that should be enough. Just like that. Okay, wow, that took way longer than I thought it would. Gavin has a 9800X 3D and a 5070. I think Botrix is working over there, so if you type in ! specs, it should give you the full gambit of what's in the system. The autofocus on the camera, it does that like if I'm out of shot. I need to figure out what setting I need to use. This is a 2-1. I need to figure out that setting. Should I use the Thermalite thermal paste that comes with my cooler? The Thermalite stuff that comes with it is fine. If you want something a little bit better, get like Arctic MX6 or the Corsair XTM70. But yeah, it only does that when my face is out of the shot for some reason. I don't know why. It's like it's searching for a face. If it doesn't see one, it just sits there and auto like refocuses all the time. Why can't I start Call of Duty on my Windows 98? Hopefully that's not a real question. This card is very beautiful. POV, working on one cable for at least 10 minutes. I know, right? Isn't that stupid? A waste of my time. Cool, we've got a anti-sag bracket. Love that. I'm really glad GPU manufacturers have started using those and including those with their cards because, man, 30 series especially. I think 40 series is when some of the manufacturers started doing it. But like before that, the really heavy 30 series cards, you pretty much always had to buy an anti-sag bracket because that stuff would be sagging immediately. Yeah, I saw your message. I didn't have a chance to read it though. Joker, I'm in the US. Look at that. Here, I'll show the back camera. It's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Let's pull all this plastic off. Hopefully without tearing it at all. It's a lot of plastic. Is there a pull tab somewhere on this thing for this last piece? Yes. Nope. That was not that. There we go. 30 square feet of plastic later. We're ready. Look at that. Oh, it's gonna look so good. Come on. There we go. All right. Oh, I put all those bolts away earlier. I forgot that it doesn't come with all the bolts in there. Sorry, the camera's probably freaking out. I need to figure out how to fix that. I will fix it at some point. Where did I put all those bolts? I only took my, oh, there we go. Aha! One. And two. Yeah, they include anti-sag brackets in the nicer, like they're not going to include it in like a 5060, but in like the bigger, like three slot fan models or 3 fan models, They include them now. These ones from MSI are pretty nice. Okay, there we go. Okay, make sure there's nothing exposed. That looks nice and clean there. Come on, slide down. There we go. Use one more cable tie down here to just kind of keep that guy in place. Not really putting any tension on this cable. I'm just trying to keep it from moving around too much. I gotta tighten this up enough so that it won't slide back to where it was. And there we go. How's that? How's that? Pretty sweet PC, huh? Check that out. And then you throw your nice little thing here. So you just take this guy out, put it up to the height you want it. It looks pretty flat, and then you just tighten down. Boom, just like that. Does this have an MSI logo? There you go, MSI logo out. Just like that. Tracking cancels every time it sees my face. Love that. Boom. How's that for a PC, y'all? How's that? Throw our back panel back on here. Oh, sideways. There we go. And there it is, all done. I need to pull that a little bit tighter. Push it a little bit tighter. But I don't really want to put any stress on that, so it's fine. Do I think a 500 watt power supply is enough for a 5700 XT? It might be. It might be. It's probably okay in most use cases. It looks very white. It is very, very white. That's why we call it the all-white 9800X 3D build. Yeah, we'll do stress testing either tonight or tomorrow. That won't be on stream though, because I need this monitor to do it. Oh, your PC keeps crashing? Then it might not be enough. Yeah, I would personally, like, if you're getting a new one, buy like a 750 or an 850 and just be done with it, and you can upgrade pretty much as you want down the road. If you buy an 850, you can upgrade all the way up to like a 5070 Ti and never need to touch it again. So that would be my suggestion if you're gonna buy one anyways. Just spend the money to get a good one that's 850 watt, 80 plus gold certified from a good brand, and then like it's good for 7 to 10 years. So that would be my suggestion. It is pretty, right, MJ? You got the black edition of the card on Newegg for 550. A 5070 for 550? That's sick. Like, does the whole PC shut down? All right, Husk, thank you so much for joining in, man. No, get an 850 is what I'm saying. Like 750 or 850, because, oh yeah, 550 for a 50, that'd be insane. He said he got it on Newegg during like the sales they had recently. Is 750 watt enough for a 9070 XT? It probably is, but I would get an 850. Because you don't want to be using, so here's the thing with power supplies, if you want them to last a long time and not have any issues, you never want to be using more than 80% of what the power supply is rated for. So even if you're, like, if you use like the PC part picker list, whatever typical power usage, if that's above like 650 watts, then you want it to be an 850 watt power supply, because you don't want to be using all of what you have available if you want the power supply to last. Yeah, I've never used a Segotep PSU. I use like MSI, ASRock, Corsair, Lee, Thermal Take sometimes, Be Quiet sometimes. I don't use any of the like off-brand stuff. It's not worth it. Better to have extra power and not need it. Exactly. All right, everyone, throw your favorite emoji in the chat so we can power this baby on for the first time. Put your favorite emoji in the chat right now. There's basically no RGB in here, so we aren't gonna turn the lights down. Corsair is solid. I haven't really like done an announcement video yet for it. I need to, but I'm actually working with Corsair right now. So we're doing as like a creator for them. So get like, can make commissions on sales. They're gonna be sending me parts to upgrade, basically upgrade my entire stream PC for free. Yeah, I'm really excited to work with them soon. Joker, love it. Is that a polar bear ghost? Love that, it's great. Chris, solid emojis. Kryzik, love the wave. Julian's crying because his PC isn't this cool. Can I build you a laptop? No, you can't really do custom laptops. The closest we would be able to do is like a framework laptop, and like you don't have to pay the kit fee, but the cost of me building it and shipping it to you, it'll probably be about the same. So yeah, not really. Building PCs is fun. I love doing it. I love building PCs. Just crashed trying to watch anime. Yeah, I think your power supply might be having some problems. All right, y'all. There's a bunch of emojis in the chat. I love to see it. As a reminder, 9800X 3D, RTX 5070, 48 gigabytes of Team Group RAM. We've got a Team Group 2TB SSD. Got the Lee Edge 850, the Asus AYW gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. It's an X870, 360mm AIO from Thermalright, and the Thermal Take View 270 Plus case. First ever power on, here it is. Ooh. So nice. So pretty. What do we think of that? I feel like the lighting is maybe just a little too bright though. Hold on, hold on. There. That's probably better. Stop freaking out, camera. My face is right here. It's in the shadow. There. Now will you recognize my face and stop freaking out? I need to figure that out. I mean, you can pay for me to do that for you, Cam. I will build you one like that. You pay for it, I'll do it. It's beautiful, thanks, Julian. You have an EVGA Hadron Air I want to use, sometimes use. I don't even know what that is. Is that a case? What up, Anita? I don't know what that says. It's ice. Icy. I was gonna get this motherboard, but then I found the MSI X870 Tomahawk. Yeah, the X870 Tomahawk is a great deal. If I wasn't building a white PC, I use the X870 Tomahawk or the X870E Tomahawk a lot. It's a great, great motherboard. I really like it. Yeah, you definitely will not be able to get a PC like this for 700 bucks. So, you know, save up your money until you need a new PC and then give me a call. B650 tough for 110. Hey, there you go. Looks fantastic. Thank you, Ghost. I appreciate that. All right, dude. Looking forward to it, Cam. Appreciate that. All right. It's a mini ITX case from 2013. Oh, really? That's cool. And LTT did a review on it back then? Nice. Wife told me to work more so I can buy her one just like it. There you go. Get back to work, MJ. Go get back in that truck. 1600 for 3 terabytes of storage, 9600X and a 5070. That's solid for 1600 bucks, dude. 5080 being sold for basically what the parts would cost. Oh, there you go, Born. Do people usually mismatch PC component brands either because of budget or lack of said component brands to put all together? Yeah, I mean, there's very few brands that make, like there's almost no brands that make everything, right? Like MSI makes GPUs and CPU coolers and a handful of cases and fans, but they don't make RAM, they don't make SSDs, obviously they don't make CPUs, they don't make motherboards. So yes, there's pretty much always gonna be a mismatch of like brands. You can try and tighten it up a little bit, but it isn't always cost effective. And if you do it right, it doesn't really matter. Especially in this case, like all of the RGB type stuff is all just gonna be run off the motherboard. So there's no like, you don't need to run a bunch of softwares. That's kind of the killer, is if you bought like a Corsair IQ like CPU cooler, but then had like NZXT fans that have to be controlled with NZXT cam. That's the stuff that you really want to avoid. But if you're using a bunch of stuff that's all being controlled by the motherboard, then it doesn't matter so much. Buy your PC on Java? Oh, nice. I've sold a PC on Java before. The Asia Horse Perseus. I don't remember what that is. Like I know I've looked at a bunch of Asia Horse's stuff, but I don't remember what the Perseus is. So is DDR3 RAM? Let's go. Make yourself a old case to play like ancient games or something. Yeah, I saw it, Soldier. Built a 14600K with a 5070 and the back connect motherboard. Nice. With it for 1200 bucks. That's solid, dude. Asus 360 AO Extreme include all the fans. It includes the fans that come on the CPU cooler. If you buy the right case that has other case fans, then yeah, you don't need to buy more. Yeah, I know Richard has sold some parts on Java too. Am I running Temple OS? No, this is gonna have Windows. just standard boilerplate Windows. I do run Windows debloater and stuff on it to take out all of the extra like background nonsense that doesn't need to be there. But no, we just run regular Windows. 10-minute benchmark. I still have to like update the BIOS, install Windows, all that sort of stuff, and I can't do that because I'm using my monitor to read chat. Probably wasn't paying attention, but is this build for a customer? Yes. Yeah. Need RevFlow fans. Is that a brand? Is that a model? I'm not familiar. When's the next live? Wednesday. We'll be building another PC on Wednesday. Gonna upgrade to the 9800X3D. Nice. I prefer AMD in general. A little bit better price to performance, and yeah. But not that many people want AMD. Like when people ask me for a build, almost none of them like select AMD as the GPU, so there's only so much I can do there. Be here taking my PC notes, love it. All right, y'all. Best thermal paste for the CPU. I would use this stuff. I mean, this is a like massive amount for someone to buy, but this thermal grease from Genel. So Genel thermal grease. This is what I use for PC builds. It works really well and it lasts for forever. If you can find like a tube or something of it, like a smaller amount than that, because I've built like 30 PCs with that tube and or that like bucket, and I'm like not even halfway through it. So yeah, if you can find a smaller thing of that, that's what I would use. If you don't want to use that, then Corsair XTM70 is a solid option, or Arctic MX6 is another really solid option. Only ever watching on Wednesdays, so whenever I see yours, I thought it's Wednesday now. Nope, it's Monday. It's definitely Monday. I hate to say it. Been selling builds and flipping builds to work my way into a free PC. It's hard, man. It takes a lot of work and time. Grizzly thermal paste, it's kind of meh. When I tested it, it didn't do super well, so it's kind of very well marketed for a mediocre thermal paste, is what I would say. Okay, well, it's the end of the stream. The PC's built. As far as we can tell, it's working. Don't forget, if you guys want a PC, go to redneckengineer.com. It's probably in the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching somewhere else, it should be in my profile. redneckengineer.com, spelled just like you see it on here. You can get custom or pre-built PCs through that. We offer payment plans through Affirm, or you can set one up with like PayPal and do it that way. But yeah, definitely appreciate your guys' support. And yeah, last thing, I am working with Corsair, so if you want to buy anything from Corsair on their website, use code REDNECK. It'll get you like a 10% discount and a little kickback for me. So appreciate you all. We'll see you on the next one. See you on Wednesday, all right? Yeah, Arctic stuff is great. Noctua is great too. The NT-H7 or whatever it's called is solid. Peanut butter works pretty well for thermal paste if you use smooth. Actually, toothpaste was the best. Or no, not toothpaste. What is that? It's not baby oil. Vaseline. Vaseline works really well, surprisingly. Don't ask me how I know. Code REDNECK, REDNEK, if you want to get a discount at Corsair's website for PC components and peripherals and stuff. Yep. All right, y'all. See you on the next one. See you on Wednesday. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for chatting. If you're not already subscribed, go watch some videos on YouTube so I can get some ad revenue. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Camera, stop freaking out. My face is right there. Hold on. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. I'll just hide my face. There. I need to figure out what's going on with that. I hate it. Hey, I appreciate that. You gotta buy it on Corsair's website though. It doesn't work on like Amazon or whatever. Appreciate y'all. We will see you later. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye.